Hey, welcome. This is Ed Logan with Fruit for Your Life. Hey, a fruitarian? A raw plant-based lifestyle? Why you won't do it? I know why you won't do it. It's not that you can't do it, it's you won't do it. Stick around and I'm gonna give you some pointers of why you won't do it. Okay, let me explain some things to you. Again, it's not that you can't live like this. It's not that you can't eat fruit every day. It's not that you can't eat a plant-based food, that kind of lifestyle. It's not that you can't do it. It's simply more so that you won't do it. You see, it's a choice that you have to make to do this. All right. And there's a lot of reasons why we don't want to live like this. Okay. Number one, we don't want to commit. We don't want to make a commitment. You see, this kind of lifestyle is a commitment. When I started back in March, I had to make a commitment. I had to tell myself, no matter what, I'm not going to quit. No matter what, I'm not going to go back to that chicken that I was eating. No matter what, I'm not going to go back and eat that steak that I was eating. I'm not going to go back and eat those hamburgers and that pizza and all those things that I know got me to the point to where I was. And I really believe that that was close to death. And so it wasn't that I couldn't do it. It's because I really just didn't want to do it. All of my life, 52 years old now, and in March of my 52nd year of life, I decided to make that commitment. And I believe that that's what's going on with a lot of us. We really just don't want the commitment. And why do we not want the commitment? Because we think it's going to alter our life in a way where we're not going to have fun anymore in our life. We're not going to get to eat our favorite food anymore anytime in our life. And so what we do is we begin to make excuses. I'm not pointing my finger at you, but I am talking to you. We like to make excuses as to why we can't do something. Fruit, it's sweet, it's juicy, it's good. But to eat it every day, no, I can't do that. No, I gotta have something else to eat with that. That just not gonna work for me. See, it's the excuses that we make. But if you really go back and do the research about fruit and how fruit does affect your body, see, your spirit inside is like, I know I need to do this. I know I need to do this because I know it's gonna change my life. But that flesh that you got on you says, oh, come on, man. You know good and well you're going to be so bored with that. There's not enough fruit to keep you satisfied and happy. And then you start having questions like, is it really sustainable? Well, let me tell you, yes, it's sustainable. And I've been sustaining it for 7, 8 months now. So it's sustainable. My weight has remained the same. I'm still down at around 195. I'm fluctuating between 195 and 199. I used to be 270. Now I'm 199, 195. I'm sustaining that. Do I want to do better? Of course I want to do better. But I had to quit making excuses for myself. Another thing is we don't want to feel trapped. You know, we love food so much. It plays such a big part of our life. It's like one of those things that brings joy to us. You know, if you have a long, hard day, you know, I used to go to the ice cream to make me feel better. I used to go to the pizza, you know, to make me feel better. And I would sit there and eat it and house that stuff down. And I'm telling you, most times I didn't even remember eating it. That's because that dopamine was going off in my mind and I was hitting those triggers. I didn't even remember eating it sometimes. Hopefully none of you all go through that right there. Hopefully none of you all have that issues, but that's the issues and the problems that I had. I didn't want to be trapped. I knew I had to change my life, but it was hard for me to do because I didn't want to be trapped with this fruit and this plant. That's boring. But in all for realness, it's what saved my life. In all seriousness, it's what gave me my energy back to live. And so it's not that you can't make that change. It's you won't make that change. And I'm here to talk to you to see if you will make that change. I'm coming to encourage you to make that change. I promise you, you won't regret it. Once you start feeling good, you will not regret what you're doing. And you for sure, if you do it for about 30 days to 60 days, you for sure won't want to go back to that old way of life. I can't go back to my old way of life. I can't do it. So for you, it's not that you can't, it's just that you won't do it. You know, we get our pleasure from food. Let's be honest. We do. Many of us who, let's say if you're single, there's nothing like coming home from work after a long, hard day. Somebody's done upset you. You know, the first thing that we do is, or we would do is we would put something in our mouth to make us feel better. Whether that be a Hershey candy bar, a Twix, a Reese cup, whatever, half a gallon of ice cream, or whatever it is, fried chicken from Popeyes. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. We would take that food and cause it to make us feel good. In actuality, it's making us feel good up here, but with our bodies, it's actually killing us. It's doing a terrible thing to our bodies. So, you know, we don't want to feel trapped. Food is actually our pleasure center. We say things like this. I mean, shouldn't I be happy? You know, we're all gonna die at some point, but shouldn't I be happy? You know, if I just eat fruit and I just eat vegetables, that's not gonna make me happy. And I feel like I need to be happy. So I'm gonna eat things to make me happy. And all the while, we're saying things and it's almost like we're speaking a curse against ourselves because we're eating processed food. Not food that is real, not food that restores, not food that heals our body. We're eating food that condemns our body. And it has such a stronghold on us, it's hard for us to give it up. Let me tell you another reason why you won't do it. Is you're afraid of failure. How do I know? Because that was me. You know, so many diets we've done, we've failed at. And we can't see ourselves accomplishing a real lifestyle change because we've failed with all those other diets that we've tried to do all of our life. And now we have an opportunity in front of us. It's not by circumstance that you're watching this video. It's not. It's not by happenstance that you have been thinking about eating correctly. You've been thinking about raw. You've been thinking about fruit. It's not by happenstance. Do you know the Most High has set this time up for you? He's given you a time. Take that time and make the most of it. Because for many of us, a year from now, some of us won't be here. And I hate to say this, but it's possible that some of you all who watch this video today, if you don't make any changes next year, you won't be here. And that's how I felt about myself. Had I not made the changes that I did back at the beginning of the year, I probably would not be sitting here right now talking to you. So don't be afraid of failure. Listen, when you start and you fall, get back up. And when you fall again, get back up. And when you fall again, get back up. You know, we were talking in the Facebook group today, and I said this. We were the best bike riders. I was a part of a little group in my neighborhood. We rode bikes like crazy. We were jumping ramps and doing all kind of stuff. But guess what? When our dads took us out and pushed us on that bike for the first time, we fell. And then we got back on that bike and tried to pedal again. And guess what? We fell. And then about the third time, we went just a little bit farther, but we fell again. And we may have fallen every day for a couple of weeks, but at some point, our body started memorizing how to balance. Our feet started getting in sync of how to pedal that pedal while we're balancing. And we became good at it. And that's exactly what will happen to you when you start eating in a healthy way. I'm not telling you how to eat. I'm not telling you you got to eat fruit only. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not telling you you got to eat plant-based only. That's not what I'm saying. But I do know that those are the foods that heal your body. And if every now and then you've got to have something to the side just for your own being, hey, do what works for you. Don't lock yourself in to make you feel like you're in prison. If you want to eat something cooked, eat something cooked, but get back on. Get right back to it. Okay? So I understand it. I've been here. I've done it. I've experienced everything you're getting ready to go through. I have experienced what you're going through right now if you are doing. You know, we want to change, and I know that you want to change, but we're afraid to put in the work. Stop being afraid. Stop letting the enemy tell you that you can't do it. Stop listening to the lies that are spoken to you. Stop listening to your own self-lies that you tell yourself. Let me encourage you and tell you, you have the opportunity to change. You can change, and you will change. Why? Because I changed. And if I can change, you can change. I believe in you. If nobody else believes in you, I believe in you. You can do it. You can change your whole atmosphere of your life. You can change the whole attitude of your life. You can actually change people around you. But you first have to be willing to change. And when you change, others will change. I did this to encourage you. I didn't do this to beat you up. That's not my purpose. My purpose is not to beat you up, but my purpose is to tell you the truth. And my purpose is to give you hope. The last thing, think of yourself as a ship. Have you ever seen a big ship out in the ocean before? Have you ever been on a cruise before? When you look at that big ship, it has a little bitty rudder, and that little bitty rudder turns that whole ship. So let me tell you what your rudder is right now. Your rudder is hope. You have to have hope. If you don't have hope, you won't do it. You have to have it. And once you begin to have a little hope and you start to turn that ship and you see that ship turning, it excites you. And you want to continue to do it finally to the point where you turn that whole ship and you're going back in the other direction. You're going back to where health was. You know, when you were younger, you know, when you were a kid and you could run all day and play, you know, when you were in your 20s and you were in good health and you felt great, and now you're in your 30s and you're starting to go downhill, and some of you in your 40s, and man, it's getting really tough. And some of you in your 50s and you're actually having a hard time walking. You're actually having a hard time breathing. You're actually feeling heart problems. You know, this is the time to steer that ship and get that little bit of hope and turn that ship around. I believe in you, and I believe you're going to do it. All right. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Hey, join our Facebook group, Fruit for Your Life community. If you want encouragement, go there. There are people who know their stuff. You know, it's not just about me. It's about all of us coming together and just learning together, encouraging each other. Nobody puts anybody down. Nobody does that. Nobody talks about anybody like that. We won't let that happen, but it's to encourage you and for you to gain knowledge. All right. Hey, y'all take care. I'll see you on the next one. I hope this edifies your soul and really makes you think. All right. Bye-bye.